right, this video is for the last three columns on your production schedule. So the last three columns are the production schedule are related to the video on the notes on revenue. If you have not gotten the notes on total revenue, marginal revenue, break-even point, profit maximizing point, please stop this video right now and go back and watch that one first, all right? So this is what you have so far. The last two videos on the production schedule looked at these numbers, and I'm building off from this. So if your airplane activity production schedule does not look like this is for my fourth period, as you can see. So I've been using this consistently through all of the videos, so I'm trying to be consistent. So if it's not the same as your particular class's production schedule, that's okay. You can still fill out the rest of it once you actually learn how to do it, okay? So we're going to start with total revenue. So our total revenue is going to be, I'm going to put on the right-hand side here.
Christian Burnell, come to the office, please. Christian Burnell, come to the main office.
Yes, I'm recording at school. So, okay, total revenue is going to be our price times total product. Price times total product. Now, I do want you to make a notation here that, and I'm putting this in red for a reason, I will always give you the price. Okay, so I will always give you the price. It will probably be up here somewhere where I will have in the directions, I will say, fill out the following production schedule when the price is $20 or whatever, okay? But I will always give you the price. In this case, for this particular class period, the price is going to be $2. $2 for the airplane. So that's based off from what their costs were and how many airplanes they actually made. They need to price them at $2. So to figure out our total revenue going down, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take $2, that's our price, which by the way just happens, it's totally coincidental, it's the same as our wage, but $2 is our price. We're going to take $2 times our total product. So we're doing 2 times 0, obviously we didn't make anything, so we can't sell anything, so that's our total revenue is 0. At 1 worker, we're multiplying 1 times 2 the price, so our total revenue is 2. At 2 workers, we're taking 3 times 2 our price to get 6. At 3 workers, we're taking 6 times 2, which is our price, to get $12. At 4 workers, we're taking 11 times 2 to get 22 for our total revenue. At 5 workers, we're taking 21 times 2 to get 42. At 6 workers, we're taking 33 times 2 to get 66. At 7 workers, we're taking 38 times 2 to get 76. At 8 workers, we're taking 42 times 2 to get 84. At 9 workers, we're taking 45 times 2 to get 90. At 10 workers, we're taking 46 times 2 to get 92. And at 11, we're taking 43 times 2 to get 86. All right, so that's our total revenue. Remember, total revenue is the total amount we get from selling all of our airplanes, selling all of our products. All right, so now we're up to marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is going to be, to find marginal revenue at 1 worker is equal to total revenue at 1 worker minus the total revenue at 0 workers divided by marginal product at 1 worker. So if you look at that equation, it's going to be very similar to your marginal cost equation. The only difference is we're talking about revenue rather than cost. Okay, so if you're starting with 0 workers, marginal revenue, you can't do. Just like when we did marginal cost at 0 workers and marginal product at 0 workers, it's a line, you can't do it because we didn't add anything, we didn't change anything. All right, at 1 worker, we're going to take 2 minus 0, which is 2, and we're going to divide by marginal product, which is 1. So 2 divided by 1 is 2. At 2 workers, we're subtracting 6 minus 2, which is 4, divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. At 3 workers, we're subtracting 12 minus 6, which is 6, divided by 3, which is 2. Okay? Notice the pattern? Guess what? They're all going to be 2. Because, remember what we said marginal revenue is. Marginal revenue is how much extra do I get from selling 1 more airplane. Think about it. How much extra do I get from selling 1 more airplane? Well, if we're charging $2 for each airplane, I get $2 more for every airplane that I sell. So, you can make this really, really simple. Marginal revenue is equal to the price. I even put that in your notes. So you can fill 2 in all the way down because that's our price, except for the last one. And if you remember, the last one you can't do, and it's also a line, because our marginal product is also negative. So because our marginal product down here is negative, we cannot divide by a negative number. We're going to get a negative revenue. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So as a result, we just have a line we can't do it. All right, last column. Last column is our profit or loss column. So profit or loss. We're looking at 2 columns to determine if we're making money or losing money. First column we're going to look at is total revenue. And we're going to take our total revenue and we have to subtract our total cost. So, at 0 workers, we are taking 0 as our revenue because we didn't make anything, minus 12, because remember we still had our fixed costs. So 0 minus 12 will give us negative 12, so we have a loss of $12. At 1 worker, we are subtracting 2 minus 14, so we're going to again have a loss of $12. At 2 workers, we're subtracting 6 minus 16 will give us a loss of $10. So we're getting ourselves out of the hole. At 3 workers, we're subtracting 12 minus 18, and so we have a loss of $6. At 4 workers, we're subtracting 22 minus 2 to have a profit. Woohoo! We're making money of $2 whole. At 5 workers, we're subtracting 42 minus 22 to have a profit of $20. Now our profit's going up. At 6 workers, we're subtracting 66 minus 24, so we're having a whole profit of $42. At 7 workers, we're subtracting 76 minus 26, so we have a profit of $50. At 8 workers, we're subtracting 84 minus 28, so our profit is $56. At 9 workers, we're subtracting 90 minus 30, so we have a profit of $60. At 10 workers, we're subtracting 92 minus 32, so again we have a profit of $60. And last but not least, at 11 workers, we are subtracting 86 minus 34, so we have a profit of $52. Okay, so that's what our profit or loss column is. So now we have the whole thing completed. Great. Now what? All right, now that you have the whole thing completed, now you can actually look at your break-even point and your profit maximizing point. So I'm going to erase these equations on the side because they're kind of distracting when I'm looking at this. So remember, if you remember from your notes or from the previous video, the break-even point is going to be where we're not making any money, but we're not losing any money. So what we have happening with our break-even point is that we have where our total revenue and our total costs are the same. So in our profit or loss column, if they were exactly the same, we would have a point where it would be exactly 0. Now if you look at your profit or loss column, going down the line here, okay, going down the line, you can see that there's no point where our profit or loss is exactly 0. So still have a break-even point. So our break-even point is going to be going from where our profit or loss column goes from a negative number to a positive number. So in between workers 3 and 4 is our break-even point, because somewhere in between there, okay, we are at 0. So at 3.5 workers, per se, we have our break-even point. Now you're asking, okay, wait a minute, how can you have half a worker? What do you think? How can you have half a worker? No, it's not midgets. I always have somebody that throws that out. Okay? We can have half a worker because of part-time workers. We are assuming with all of this that they are all full-time employees. But what if we have a part-time worker? They only work half days or every third day, whatever. Okay? So keep in mind that that can happen in there. So our break-even point is actually between workers 3 and 4. All right, the other point that you can determine is your profit maximizing point. Now, if you remember from your notes or from your video, your profit maximizing point is going to be where your profit is the highest and where your marginal cost and your marginal revenue are the same. So look at your profit or loss column, right? Find your profit where that's the highest. So notice between 9 workers and 10 workers, they both have a profit of $60, but only one of them is correct because at 10 workers, our marginal cost and our marginal revenue are the same. This is going to be our profit maximizing point. That's how many workers we should actually hire. Okay? We should actually hire 10 workers because at that point, okay, we are making the most money and our marginal cost and marginal revenue are the same. The reason you say that rather than, for example, going and saying 9 workers is, if you think about it in the long run, okay, your 10th worker in the short run, you're not paying them, it's not costing you anything extra because you're making it up in the revenue and the amount of money, amount of items that they're actually making for you, okay? And in the long run, they're already there for when you want to expand and you don't have to train them anymore, right? So keep that in mind when you are looking at that, all right? So that is the end of the production schedule. So hopefully between the 3 videos explaining the different parts, you understand how to put the whole thing together. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I am out for now.